After an emotional first season full of grief, healing, family drama, and complicated relationship, it's not like that has officially wrapped its finale, and fans are still debating one major question: who should Laurie actually end up with? It's not like that season 1 episode 8 serves as both heartfelt conclusion and a frustrating cliffhanger, especially when it comes to Laurie's messy love life. The finale begins right after the terrifying accident involving Merritt and Flora. Thankfully, both teenagers survive, but the emotional fallout hits everyone hard, especially because the tragedy immediately reminds the family of Jenny's death. One of the most heartbreaking moments come from Malcolm, who flashes back to losing Jenny while desperately waiting for news about the kids. In both the past and present, the one person grounding him emotionally is Laurie, but the tension explodes once David arrives at the hospital. After learning Merritt had been drinking before the accident, David unleashes his anger on his son, terrified that Merritt is heading down the same dangerous path of addiction that nearly destroyed his own life. The confrontation becomes one of the episode's strongest scenes. David harshly warns Merritt that his behavior could have killed both himself and Flora, and while Laurie eventually steps in to calm things down, the emotional damage between father and son is impossible to ignore. Still, the finale does allow them to finally have an honest conversation. Merritt admits how deeply hurt he was by David's constant fear that he could hurt Flora. To Merritt, it felt like his father believed he wasn't worthy of her, and although David never intended that meaning, the relationship remains fragile by the episode's end. At the same time, the show continues exploring grief in incredibly emotional ways. Justin breaking down over forgetting his late mother's Jenny's cookie recipe become one of the season's most touching moments. Flora and Penn comfort him beautifully, once again proving that the strongest part of the series has always been the family dynamic between Jeffries and Soto households. The finale also gives Penn one of her best arcs yet. After enduring bullying and toxic friendship for most of the season, she finally distances herself from Dakota and reconnects with Casey. Watching Penn finally embrace her true self instead of trying to fit in become one of the episode's most satisfying development. But the biggest storyline and the messiest one remains Laurie's love triangle, or honestly love quadrangle. There's Koopa Joe, the sweet but clearly unserious romantic option, who keeps inviting Laurie on spontaneous adventure like camping trips and van rides. Even the finale practically treats him like comic relief compared to the real emotional battle happening between Malcolm and David. And that's where things get complicated. The show clearly wants viewers to root for Laurie and Malcolm. Their chemistry is undeniable and their emotional connection has become heart of the series. But there's also growing concern about how dependent they have become on each other, often prioritizing one another at the expense of their families. Meanwhile, David may actually be the surprise emotional underdog of the season. After struggling with addiction and failing his family in the past, David spends the season genuinely trying to change. He takes accountability, returns to recovery meetings after relapsing, and slowly begins rebuilding trust with Laurie and the kids. And by the finale, it becomes obvious that Laurie still loves him too. That's what makes the ending so frustratingly compelling. Laurie doesn't know what she wants. Malcolm seems emotionally fixated on her. David is proving he deserves another chance, and the series ends right as everything becomes even more complicated. Now, fans are left waiting to see whether It's Not Like That gets renewed. Because after that finale, viewers definitely need answers. Thank you for watching. Bye.